Good morning, everybody. Quickly to introduce myself, I'm Pharaoh. Um, I'll be 44 September the 27th. Uh, I don't think I know a lot, but I want to speak to you this morning about a little something that I do know. And it's a little bit of something that we all overlook. I'm talking about the brothers that's in the conscious community and our sisters that's in the conscious community, our queens. They overlook historical facts and things that ushered into times. You see, all actions and all wars, whoever was the victor, it ushered in times for those people. Sometimes after war, it ushers in a lot of time. Think of World War II. After World War II, the United States put a group of Caucasians in the Middle East. And look, over that time, they still holding it. Ain't much you can do about it right now. What I want to get off of that, and I want to go back to this study. The March of Alexander the Great. You see, that's the times that we living in. You see, we don't understand what that march was about because we too busy focusing on and disagreeing on the same things. I watch a lot of YouTube and I see my brothers and they arguing amongst themselves when they all have the same knowledge, the very same thing. I don't understand why we just can't pick a history and say it's ours and leave it all alone. But anyway, the March of Alexander the Great is very important because going back all the way into ancient times, there were two great civilizations or two great cultures. You got Greece with their gods, Zeus and Hercules and all that bullshit, and Pegasus and Medusa with the snakes in her head. And you got Egypt, right there across the Mediterranean with Horus and the pyramids. And, they gods build the pyramids. Our gods was real. Your gods are not. That's the first argument. That went on for years and years. Times and times. Undercoated. All right. I'm going to fast forward it a bit to when Alexander was on his march. When they defeated the Persians and took the name Persia off the map. They defeated Persia, which is Iran today. Defeated it. There's no more Persia. He left. Ran down through Babylon. Kicked their ass. On his way to Egypt, he was poisoned. This is Alexander the Great. He leaves his command and Egypt to his counselor. So now his counselor, who is not a military man, very smart, political guy though, has 90,000 motherfuckers under his command. And he marches into Egypt. All right. At that time, they was, bickering and battering over what Pharaoh lost what because Egypt was in shambles. Well, okay. Here they come, the Greeks. Well, he put himself on the throne, made everybody call him a god, Caiaphas to Christ. I'm not going to get into all that bullshit, but we know what that led to. But anyway, Caiaphas to Christ, and then a line of Ptolemies, the first, second, third, fifths, and all that bullshit led all the way to Cleopatra, who by that time, Greece done got everything they wanted out of Egypt. This is a white line of pharaohs, including Cleopatra, sisters. And, hey, they sold Egypt to Rome. Well, here go the good part of the story. We all know that Rome burnt the Great Library, and I'm going to tell you why. And this is all about the march of Alexander the Great. The Great Library had your history and my history in it. You see, all of it was talking about how much of a dogs they were, how heathenized they were, how they were shaved for the first time by the Egyptian army. It was in that library. It wasn't in Timbuktu. Carthage had already failed. And Timbuktu told the Romans, hey, that guy that they named Africa after, Scipio, grandson, in Rome, Scipio is the one that defeated Carthage. Where they named Africa after his grandson. His name was Africanus or some bullshit like that. Well, Timbuktu told me, hey man, we ain't got no history down here, dog. You can come look. Well, they went and looked, and they didn't attack them. They went back to Egypt. And that's when Greece came into power. But anyway, let's get back to what Cleopatra did. Well, when she did her bullshit, she allowed the library to get burnt. Only 4 books was not burnt. The first 4 books of the Bible. That's where they come from. They was released from. She didn't allow that to be burnt. That's the only thing that survived that fire. All the European history was in there too. All the books that was written about that race up there. Man, hey, they animals. Hey, that's what was in that motherfucker. They burnt it to the ground. And Cleopatra stood right there on the balcony, right next to her gay lover, Julius Caesar, and watched it. Watched it burn. Your history. So that all things can be made new. That's a world war. You see? Because with that history, that means, hey, the black man is the most mightiest on this earth. But he was defeated by the sword. So I'm going to burn that motherfucker down so that I can write my history right now and then. I can say whatever I want, and you ain't got no history to back up yourself. I'm going to call you a heathen, give a few of y'all a name in the Bible, separate the Negro that we've been attacking some years, and hey, let the chips fall where they may. Let's get back to Cleopatra the Great. Well, when she failed to do what she did, Egypt was left to roam. Well, wars came, and now all of a sudden, we have great scholars named the Moors, who predates a lot of stuff, but the Moors. Instead of the Moors going down to the West Coast to educate us brothers and sisters there, they took their education to Spaniard. They took their education to the French. They took their education to the white man. And left us down there defenseless. We were still running through the bush, wearing trees and shit around our waists. While they was building monuments and great things, they have woke up our brain to the light of day. So that we were attacked when the white man woke up to the light of day and realized that he could make us work for nothing. All of this was done because Egypt was broken. Egypt was broke. If they would have done that, with Egypt being as strong as they were, the whole world would have got turned upside down. But they broke Egypt. They broke Carthage. So that we living in their era. War.